The present moment is where healing happens, where love blossoms, and where true peace resides. When you embrace the here and now with mindful attention, you step into a life of greater clarity, calmness, and lasting happiness. Reduction of stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety have become almost unavoidable in today's world. Our minds are constantly bombarded with information, responsibilities, and expectations, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. Whether it's worrying about the future, replaying past mistakes, or feeling pressured by daily tasks, these mental patterns often create inner tension. Mindful attention provides a powerful way to reduce stress and anxiety by helping us observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming consumed by them. At its core, mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment in a non-judgmental way. When you are mindful, you notice your thoughts and feelings as they arise, but instead of labeling them as good or bad, you simply acknowledge them. This shift in perspective is incredibly healing. Rather than fighting with your mind, you create space to breathe, observe, and release negative energy. One of the main reasons stress and anxiety take hold of us is because we often over-identify with our thought. For example, if you make a mistake at work, you might think, "I'm a failure," or "I'll never succeed." These thoughts create a story that fuels stress and fear. With mindful attention, you learn to step back and see these thoughts for what they truly are: temporary mental events, not absolute truths. You begin to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness observing them. Scientific studies have shown that mindfulness practices such as meditation and deep breathing can lower cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress. When you focus on the rhythm of your breath or the sensations in your body, your nervous system begins to calm down. This physical relaxation signals to your mind that you are safe, which naturally reduces feelings of anxiety. Over time, mindfulness retrains your brain to respond to stress with clarity instead of panic. Consider this scenario: stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. Normally, your mind might spiral into anger and frustration. "I'm going to be late, my boss will be upset, this day is ruined." This chain reaction intensifies stress. However, if you approach the situation mindfully, you pause, take a deep breath, and simply acknowledge what's happening. "I'm in traffic. I feel anxious." By naming the experience without judgment, you break free from the emotional storm. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond calmly, perhaps by calling ahead to inform others you'll be delayed. This mindful pause transforms chaos into clarity. Another key aspect of reducing anxiety through mindfulness is acceptance. Much of our suffering comes from resisting reality. When things don't go as planned, we fight against them mentally, creating inner conflict. Mindful attention teaches us to accept situations as they are, even if they're unpleasant. This doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means facing challenges with an open and balanced mind. Acceptance brings a sense of peace because you stop wasting energy on what you cannot control. Practical mindfulness exercises can be integrated into daily life to manage stress. For instance, try body scanning, where you focus on each part of your body from head to toe, noticing any areas of tension. This simple practice helps you release stress stored physically in your muscle. Mindful walking is another technique. As you walk, pay attention to each step, the feeling of your feet touching the ground, and the rhythm of your movement. These practices anchor you in the present and quiet a restless mind. Over time, mindfulness builds emotional resilience. Life will always have challenges, but with a mindful mindset, you meet these challenges with strength rather than fear. You become better at navigating uncertainty and change, knowing that you can return to your breath and your awareness at any moment. In the end, stress and anxiety are not permanent enemies. They are signals from your mind and body asking you to slow down and pay attention. Through mindful awareness, you can listen to these signals with compassion and respond in a way that brings calm, balance, and happiness. By practicing mindfulness consistently, you create an inner sanctuary of peace that no external stressor can shake. Deep connection with yourself. In our busy, fast-paced world, many people live disconnected from their true selves. We are often so focused on external responsibilities, relationships, and societal expectations that we rarely pause to look inward. This lack of self-awareness can lead to confusion, unhappiness, and a constant feeling of being lost. Mindful attention helps bridge this gap by guiding you to form a deep connection with yourself, allowing you to truly understand your thoughts, emotions, and desires. This inner connection is a key foundation for lasting happiness and peace. From childhood, we are taught to focus on the outside world, achievements, possessions, and others' opinions. While these things matter, they can never fully define who we are. Many people mistakenly base their identity on roles such as parent, employee, or student, forgetting that their inner self is much deeper than these labels. Mindfulness teaches you to gently peel away these layers and reconnect with your true essence. When you practice mindful attention, you observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment, creating space to discover who you are beneath external roles and expectations. One powerful way to build this connection is by listening to your inner voice. Often we ignore our intuition because we are too distracted by noise, social media, work pressures, and constant busyness. By practicing mindfulness, you create quiet moments where your inner wisdom can surface. This inner voice helps guide you toward decisions that align with your values, leading to a more authentic and fulfilling life. For instance, if you feel restless and unhappy in a certain job, mindful reflection might reveal that your true passion lies elsewhere, giving you the courage to make a change. When you are deeply connected with yourself, you also become more aware of your emotions. Many people suppress their feelings because they are uncomfortable with them, especially negative ones like anger, sadness, or fear. However, avoiding emotions only causes them to build up and eventually overwhelm you. Mindful attention encourages you to sit with your feelings, observe them, and allow them to pass naturally. This process helps you understand the root causes of your emotions and respond with compassion, instead of reacting impulsively. For example, rather than lashing out in anger during an argument, mindfulness allows you to pause, recognize your feelings, and express yourself calmly and clearly. Developing a connection with yourself also means gaining clarity about your true desires and life purpose. Many people chase goals they think will make them happy, money, fame, or approval, only to feel empty once they achieve them. Through mindfulness, you begin to see which pursuits truly bring you joy and which are based on external pressures. This clarity helps you focus your energy on what genuinely matters to you, creating a sense of fulfillment that external success alone cannot provide. Practicing mindfulness to connect with yourself doesn't require long hours of meditation, though that can be helpful. Simple daily practices can be deeply transformative. For instance, journaling mindfully allows you to explore your thoughts and feelings on paper. Mindful breathing for just a few minutes each day creates a space of calm where you can check in with yourself. Even something as simple as spending quiet time in nature can help you reconnect with your inner world. When you know yourself deeply, you also cultivate self-compassion. Instead of being overly critical or harsh when you make mistakes, you treat yourself with kindness, just as you would a close friend. This nurturing relationship with yourself reduces stress and promotes emotional healing. Over time, this inner compassion radiates outward, improving your relationships with others as well. Ultimately, a deep connection with yourself is the foundation for a meaningful life. When you understand who you truly are, you no longer rely on external validation to feel worthy or happy. You find inner strength and peace that cannot be shaken by life's challenges. Through mindful attention, you come home to yourself, discovering that true happiness begins within. Appreciation of small joys. In the pursuit of happiness, many people believe they need grand achievements, perfect relationships, or material wealth to feel truly fulfilled. However, real and lasting happiness often comes not from extraordinary events, but from the simple, everyday moments that we often overlook. Mindful attention allows us to slow down and notice these small joys, turning ordinary experiences into sources of deep gratitude and contentment. By appreciating the little things, we transform the way we experience life. Modern life moves quickly. We rush from one task to another, constantly distracted by technology, responsibilities, and the endless list of things we need to do. This fast pace causes us to miss the beauty in the present moment. For example, we might drink our morning tea or coffee without really tasting it, or walk past a beautiful flower without even noticing its color or fragrance. These missed opportunities may seem insignificant, but when we add them up, we realize that we are missing life itself. Mindfulness invites us to pause and pay attention. It encourages us to fully engage our senses, seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching with whatever we are doing right now. Something as simple as feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, hearing a bird's song, or savoring a bite of your favorite food can become a deeply fulfilling experience when you are truly present. These small joys are like hidden treasures waiting to be discovered through mindful awareness. One reason appreciating small joys is so powerful is that it cultivates gratitude. Often we focus on what we don't have or what's going wrong in our lives. This constant dissatisfaction leads to unhappiness. However, when we intentionally notice and appreciate the good things, no matter how small, they shift our perspective. Gratitude helps us see that there is already so much to be thankful for. For instance, the simple comfort of a safe home, a kind word from a friend, or a delicious meal can bring a wave of happiness when we stop to appreciate them. Scientific research supports this idea. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude and mindfulness can increase overall well-being, reduce stress, and even improve physical health. By training the mind to focus on the present moment and the blessings within it, we create a more positive outlook on life. This doesn't mean we ignore challenges or pretend everything is perfect. Instead, we balance difficulties with an awareness of the good that still exists around us. Children are natural masters of appreciating small joys. A child can spend hours marveling at a butterfly, laughing at a funny sound, or delighting in a simple game. Unfortunately, as adults, we often lose this sense of wonder because we become preoccupied with responsibilities and worries. Through mindfulness, we can reawaken that childlike curiosity and see the world with fresh eyes. This shift brings lightness and joy into even the most ordinary days. To practice appreciating small joys, you don't need extra time or special tools. Start with mindful breathing. Take a few slow breaths and bring your awareness to what is happening right now. Then look around and notice one thing you often take for granted: a tree, a family member's smile, or the comforting aroma of food cooking. Focus fully on that moment and allow yourself to feel gratitude. Over time, this simple practice rewires your brain to naturally notice and appreciate the beauty of life. Another way to deepen this practice is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 small things you are thankful for. They don't need to be big or dramatic. In fact, the smaller and simpler, the better. This habit strengthens your ability to see joy in everyday experiences and helps you remain resilient during difficult times. Ultimately, happiness is not about having everything you want or achieving extraordinary milestones. It's about noticing what's already here. When you slow down and pay mindful attention, life becomes richer and more meaningful. The laughter of a loved one, the stillness of early morning, or even the quiet moments of solitude can become sources of profound joy. By appreciating the small things, you discover that the extraordinary has always been hidden in the ordinary. For this point to help you with YouTube optimization. Improved relationships. Human beings are deeply social creatures. Our relationships with family, friends, partners, colleagues, and even strangers play a vital role in our happiness and well-being. Yet many of us struggle with conflict, misunderstandings, and emotional distance in our interactions with others. These difficulties often arise because we are not fully present when engaging with the people around us. Mindful attention offers a powerful way to nurture healthier, deeper, and more meaningful relationships, ultimately becoming a source of joy and harmony in our lives. At its core, mindfulness is about being present and aware, both with yourself and others. In relationships, this means truly listening, understanding, and responding with kindness. Too often, we communicate on autopilot, half listening while thinking about what to say next, distracted by our phones, or lost in our own worries. This lack of attention creates distance and leaves the other person feeling unheard and unvalued. When we practice mindful attention, we bring our full focus to the interaction, which builds trust and strengthens emotional bonds. One of the most powerful aspects of mindful communication is deep listening. Deep listening is more than just hearing the words someone speaks. It involves paying attention to their tone, emotions, and even body language. It means setting aside your judgments and truly understanding their perspective. For example, when a friend shares that they are upset, instead of immediately offering solutions or dismissing their feelings, you pause, listen fully, and acknowledge their experience. This kind of listening makes people feel seen and respected, which naturally deepens your connection with them. Mindfulness also helps reduce reactivity in relationships. Many conflicts arise because we react impulsively to anger, criticism, or frustration. When we feel attacked, our instinctive response may be to fight back, defend ourselves, or withdraw. These reactions often escalate tensions rather than resolve them. Mindful attention creates a space between the stimulus and your response. In that space, you have the power to choose your reaction thoughtfully. Instead of shouting during an argument, you might take a breath, recognize your rising anger, and calmly express how you feel. This conscious approach can prevent misunderstandings and turn potential conflicts into opportunities for growth. Another benefit of mindfulness in relationships is the cultivation of compassion and empathy. When you are truly present, you naturally begin to see the other person's struggles and joys more clearly. You realize that, like you, they experience pain, fear, and hopes. This understanding fosters kindness and patience. For example, if a coworker behaves rudely, instead of reacting with resentment, mindfulness allows you to pause and consider they might be dealing with stress or personal challenges. Responding with empathy rather than anger can transform the dynamic between you and others. In romantic relationships, mindful attention can bring greater intimacy and closeness. Many couples drift apart not because they stop loving each other, but because they stop truly seeing and appreciating each other. By practicing mindfulness, partners can reconnect by being fully present during conversations, date nights, or even simple daily routines like cooking together. Small acts of presence, like making eye contact, offering a genuine compliment, or listening without distraction, can reignite warmth and strengthen the bond over time. Mindfulness also encourages healthy boundaries. Being mindful doesn't mean saying yes sir to everyone or ignoring your own needs. Instead, it helps you become aware of your feelings and limits so you can communicate them clearly and respectfully. For instance, if a friend repeatedly crosses your boundaries, mindfulness helps you recognize the discomfort early on and address it calmly before resentment builds up. Healthy boundaries are essential for balanced, respectful relationships. Practicing mindfulness in relationships doesn't require extra time. It's about bringing awareness into everyday interactions. Here are a few simple practices. Pause before responding. Take a deep breath before you speak, especially during conflict. Give full attention. Put away distractions like phones when someone is talking to you. Reflect before reacting. Notice your emotions and choose a thoughtful response. Gratitude. Regularly acknowledge and appreciate the people in your life. As you integrate these habits, you'll notice a shift. Relationships become smoother, conflicts resolve more easily, and moments of connection feel richer. The people around you will also respond positively because they sense your genuine presence and care. Ultimately, mindful attention transforms relationships by creating authentic connections. When you show up fully, listening deeply, responding wisely, and treating others with compassion, you nurture bonds that bring lasting happiness. These meaningful relationships not only enrich your own life, but also spread harmony and love to everyone around you. Freedom from negative patterns. Life is a series of experiences, both good and bad. Over time, we develop mental and emotional patterns based on these experiences. Some patterns are healthy and help us grow, while others are negative and hold us back. These negative patterns can take many forms: self-doubt, anger, resentment, fear, jealousy, overthinking, or harmful habits. They are often deeply rooted, operating like invisible chains that keep us stuck in cycles of suffering. Mindful attention offers a powerful path to freedom from these negative patterns. By becoming aware of how your thoughts and behaviors arise, you gain the ability to break free from old conditioning and create a healthier, more joyful life. Most negative patterns are driven by the subconscious mind. For example, you might find yourself reacting with anger every time someone criticizes you, even if their intention is to help. Or you may keep repeating the same mistakes in relationships or careers without understanding why. These automatic reactions happen because your mind is running on autopilot, replaying past experiences and learned behaviors. Without awareness, you are trapped in these cycles, believing they define who you are. Mindfulness changes this dynamic by shining a light of awareness on these unconscious patterns. When you practice mindful attention, you observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Instead of immediately reacting, you pause and notice, I'm feeling anger rising right now. Or here's that familiar voice of self-criticism. This simple act of noticing creates space between you and the pattern, giving you the freedom to choose a different response. Consider someone who struggles with chronic worry. Whenever a problem arises, their mind automatically jumps to the worst-case scenario. This constant anxiety drains their energy and happiness. Through mindfulness, they begin to recognize the cycle, the initial worry, the physical tension in the body, and the cascade of fearful thoughts. By observing this process as it happens, they gradually learn to interrupt it, perhaps by taking a deep breath, grounding themselves in the present, and reminding themselves that not every thought reflects reality. Over time, the grip of worry weakens, and a sense of calm begins to grow. Another example is breaking free from addiction or harmful habits. Whether it's overeating, excessive screen time, or negative self-talk, these behaviors often come from unconscious triggers. Mindfulness helps you identify the root causes of these habits. Instead of fighting the behavior with willpower alone, you bring gentle, compassionate awareness to the urge. You might notice, for example, that you reach for food not because you're hungry, but because you're feeling lonely or stressed. This deeper understanding allows you to address the underlying need rather than simply reacting to the surface behavior. Mindfulness also helps release deeply held emotional pain. Many people carry resentment, grief, or trauma from the past. These unprocessed emotions can influence current behaviors and relationships, often without our realization. Through mindful attention, you can sit with these emotions safely, observing them as they arise without being overwhelmed. Over time, this practice brings healing, allowing you to let go of the pain and move forward with a lighter heart. A key part of breaking free from negative patterns is self-compassion. Often when people notice their flaws or mistakes, they respond with harsh self-criticism. Ironically, this only reinforces the negative pattern. Mindfulness encourages you to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Instead of saying, I'm so weak for feeling this way, you might say, I'm having a difficult moment, and that's okay. This gentle approach makes it easier to create lasting change. Here are a few practical steps to start freeing yourself from negative patterns. 1. Pause and observe. When you feel triggered, take a deep breath and notice what you're feeling. 2. Name the pattern, label it mentally, like anger, fear, or a self-criticism. 3. Stay curious, explore where this feeling comes from and how it affects your body and mind. 4. Choose a new response. Instead of reacting automatically, respond with intention and wisdom. 5. Practice daily mindfulness. Even a few minutes of mindful breathing each day strengthens your awareness over time. As you continue to practice, you'll notice a profound shift. Old triggers will lose their power, and you'll begin to act from a place of clarity rather than compulsion. This freedom allows you to make choices that align with your values, leading to greater peace and happiness. Ultimately, freedom from negative patterns is about reclaiming control of your life. You no longer have to be a prisoner of the past or a victim of automatic habits. Through mindful attention, you awaken to the present moment where true transformation becomes possible. This liberation opens the door to a life filled with purpose, balance, and authentic joy.